evening and welcome to the Thai PBS World. Since June, millions of Hong Kongers took to the street, especially during the weekend that they participated in the protest, 11th weekend in a row. Their demands are different. And before coming on air, I just talked to Joshua Wong, one of the main activists, via Skype. I see signal from business community in Hong Kong that they are also worried with economic situation is worsening, like inbound tourism or overall economy. How do you like to respond to business community in Hong Kong?
Chairperson of General Chambers of Commerce in Hong Kong issued a statement, urged Hong Kong government withdraw the bill and set up investigation commission on police brutality. And I know how not only grassroots and youngsters, but even tycoons and elderly, they stand on our side, support to uphold political and economic freedom in Hong Kong. I hope people could realize that when Hong Kong is under the chaos of trade war between US and China, how to safeguard Hong Kong is not only a demand of Hong Kong people, it's also related to the benefits of countries around the world. In Hong Kong, the place being recognized as Asian financial market. And
there must be a certain group of people who don't really agree with the protest. What do you like to tell them?
In Hong Kong, more than 75% of people urge government to withdraw the bill. More than 80% of citizens urge government set up investigation commission. We get majority consensus of Hong Kong people. For the ones don't agree with us, we will try our best, explain the reason behind, hope to seek for their support in the future.
Please stay tuned with us for tomorrow night for more comment from Joshua Wong. Listen to what he has to say regarding the demands of Hong Kongers. During last week, I was in Hong Kong to listen to different voices of people. And if you take it as spectrum, it's very different in terms of their demands to the Chinese government. If you ask people from the street what are they calling for in terms of joining protest, they tend to say that they have 5 demands, which is to set up independent inquiry of the police operation. Carrie Lam, Chief Executive Officer, has to resign, and to have universal suffrage, one man, one vote, to support free election and democracy in Hong Kong. But this doesn't mean that 100% of Hong Kong population are on the same pages. If you take it as spectrum of their demands, it can begin from total independence from China and to respect one country, two system, and to remain character of Hong Kong as special administrative region.
Actually, it is the truth. We can't change one country, two system. I agree, Hong Kong is a part of China. We don't tell that we want to independence, but I need to say Hong Kong is very unique place. You know, Hong Kong is a very, very special place. Don't put the China rules in Hong Kong. We have our national status. So if you want Hong Kong to be good, just remain the freedom to us.
Another spectrum Andy Shan Ho-Tin is a Hong Kong pro-independence political activist. He's 28 and he's part of active speakers and advocate for the protest. He admits his view is quite radical, but he maintains Hong Kong has to be independent from China.
I think there's no choice for us because we have executed one country, two system for over 2 decades, but the result, we all know that it's not good. So one country, two system is not working. That's the reason why there are 2 million Hong Kongers to protest in the street. So we need a new way out, but other than one country, two system, what are the possible choices? Being an ordinary Chinese city, one country, two systems, and the last choice is independence. So obviously, to me, there's only one choice. independence.
Can you tell me the format of how they mobilize or have an appointment of the rally in each time? Because it seems to me that it's quite independent in terms of organizing.
So in this whole movement, there are lots of people, 1 million people. There are lots of groups or political parties or individuals. They take turns to propose the event or activity or the protest. They think that is suitable, that's good for us. And then they will suggest it, they will organize it. If we agree to that event, we will help advertise that event and we will go to that event. If that event seems to us it's not too suitable in this timing, we will suggest him to back off or we'll just ignore the event. So it's a progress of the process of natural selection.
And everyone vote via social media like Telegram.
The Telegram or forum on the internet. Everyone is hiding their names, using different accounts. We speak anonymously. So it doesn't matter whether you are a leader or a politician, you are popular or famous or not. The most important thing is that your idea is good. If your idea is good, no matter who you are, people will take it.
So far, how do you see momentum of the rally so far from mid of June until today?
I think the momentum is still good. After 2 months of hard work, I would say, a huge repression from the government, a lot of frustration, but still the whole crowd is doing good. It's fine, it's looking good. The momentum is keeping up. The main reason is that we don't isolate anyone from us. Someone may be very radical like me. I chant for independence, but they don't give up on me. They think that they're still part of the crowd. He's part of the movement. So when the government claim that I am an extreme violence people, where I make bombs or whatsoever, the crowd still think that I am part of them. So they are not isolating me to the government. That's the reason why the whole crowd can keep up the momentum.
From now on, what's gonna happen? Because so much speculation regarding interference by PLA or official or staff or army from China authority.
Well, we don't think that they will deploy PLA to Hong Kong. Well, in fact, they have 10,000 PLA already in Hong Kong after 1997. It's here every day, so PLA is already in Hong Kong. But will they deploy PLA to kill Hong Kong people? I don't think so, because first of all, it's not a possible solution. It won't solve the problem. Once you deploy the PLA, we'll just go home. When you left, we'll come again. What are you going to do? Are you going to kill all the people? So I don't think that's a possible solution. Second, if they deploy PLA in Hong Kong to attack Hong Kong people, that will be the end of Hong Kong. That will be the end of one country, two system. And that also will be the end or disaster for China internationally, because they will face tremendous, enormous sanctions from the world.
On the hand, Hong Kongers begin to feel effects from the protest. This taxi driver was born in Hong Kong. He is 57. He told me how he has been affected, especially in the past 2 months.
Not fully agree, but I think it's a tool the student can use to express their anger about the government, about the bill.
Yes. Have you ever joined them?
No, no time.
For how many years you live in Hong Kong? Are you Hong Konger?
I'm born here.
And how are you affected by the protest?
The influence by the protest immediately to reduce my income. My revenue of the driving taxi is less than before, about 20%. And also, before the passengers, some of them are the tourists from China or from America, but now no tourists, maybe 2 days, one times. I think the protesters are not politicians. They only to think about 1 to 2 issues. Say they would like to all those activities will be fully agreed by the legal council. But when you say independence, a lot of factors you have to consider. Say army, the finance, and everything. If you have, then you can be independent country. For me, Hong Kong is not ready and is not big enough to be a independent country.
Ingrid also showed me. Ingrid talked to me while I report in Tsim Sha Tsui area. She said she would like to speak to the public how she is really concerned with the protester. And she thinks the movement is destroying image and economy of Hong Kong.
I truly love Hong Kong, and I've been living here for 55 years, and I saw nearly the whole process since the destruction of Legislative Council. By that time I was in Europe visiting my son. But when I saw the scene in the TV, I cried, I shed tears because I feel, Hong Kong was destroyed. Deep inside, they were anti-China. So they used the extradition bills to provoke, to trigger the young people and the people's fear and the hatred about the Hong Kong government. So I think that this is not just for one reason. This is deep inside. It's for one reason, and of course, Hong Kong government has a little bit problem. I guess, as you know, there is nobody and no government is perfect in the world, right? And then I don't think you should use this kind of violent, unreasonable destruction, like a riot or protest and demonstration to destroy Hong Kong.
What's the concern of you that the image of Hong Kong right now is about protest? What concerns you?
I feel really ashamed and upset and sad when I saw the Hong Kong airport was like occupied by a lot of rioters. They do a lot of bad things, to ruin the image of Hong Kong. That's their purpose, right? Was that their purpose? I just want to ask, do you really love Hong Kong? What you do you think you really love Hong Kong and did for Hong Kong? That's my sadness and concern.
That was Ingrid's sentiment about protests in Hong Kong. She also showed me her chat room in social media application that she receives and shares messages with people who are on the same page of disagreeing with the protests. While protesters also have their own chat room and social media program, especially on Telegram, to chat their concern, to chat how they would like to mobilize and advocate for protests. And this is all about what they call leaderless movement of protest in Hong Kong. And that's different shades of voice of people in Hong Kong. That's all from Thai PBS World tonight.